Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video will be the tier list for the priority of the Shimmer Esper that you're gonna pick from the Selector. So of course, every Shimmer have their own usage for different content. There's PVE Shimmer Esper, there's PvP Shimmer Esper, there's also Esper that's able to do overall content as well. So feel free to use the timestamp I'm gonna provide in this video. I'll be separating them to PVE content, PvP content, and overall content. Overall, which means it can be used in PvP and PvE, and both is very strong and usable. But if you are looking for a certain content, for example, if you are just going to focus on the new PvP content, which is beat out and the KO, which is our most of the income from our Nexus Crystal and Shimmer Record, then you should be looking at the PvP tier list. Then if you are looking for like Infinity Tower, Falsetto Fantasy, Sentinel Hunt, maybe for the future of Chimera Anomaly, then you should be looking at the PvE tier list. So let's go. So we'll be looking at the PvP tier list first, and keep note, every Shimmer Esper here I'm going to go through, they have to be R0. I'll not be looking at the R2 because I believe majority of you are not going for the R2 Shimmer Esper, right? You guys are going for the R0 choice. So I'll just cover the R0 part and who should you pick. So the PvP one I'll be covering mostly for beat out and KO matches and some of the point war. But the major fact that I'm going to consider is about beat out and KO. So we're gonna take a look at the rival runes. If you have no idea what is rival runes, you can check out my other video, which is the explanation of the rival runes one. I'll put a link under the description below, so you can go check it out. So rival runes here, Unas will be using Wind set and Avatara set, and this is not max, so it's not the final set yet, but we get the idea. Unas will be very fast in beat up, and Unas R0 is decent because of the AP push, but is it that really important, the priority to get him for the beat out and knockout? I don't really think so, so I'll put Unas at the good tier. Okay, then for the next one, Nusi. Nusi will be running on Wind set and HP set in rival runes, which means Nusi will be very fast in the beat out content and KO content, and Nusi is able to CD down, able to reset cooldown, able to AP down, all those stuff, right? And the fact that she's so fast in the game, so Nusi will be on Get It. If you are going for a PvP content, Nusi will definitely worth the priority of your choice if you are going for beat out, knockout, and PvP content as well. Alright, then for the next one, Tever. Tever is on attack set and Astro set, so it's good, but the fact that Tever is going to get attack bonus here, which means he's not going to crit that often unless you are R2, because R2 Tever, there's a bonus effect which increases the crit damage by 100% when it's in rival rune content, which is a beat out and KO matches. And Tever will be a lot better priority for the beat out content and KO content, because everyone, the runes will be the same, right? So you can't really tune your, let's say, some of the counter we used to have for in KO and point war. We tune our Esper, the highest attack Esper for our height will be the highest attack Esper, so we can't one-shot height or height will revive. So this is kind of the way we counter Tever. So Tever definitely won't be a meta in PvP content, but it's something good to have. So I would say maybe this tier, and I wouldn't call this skip, I would call this decent. So Unas will be decent, then Tever will be higher tier. Something like this. I know most of you guys love Tever in PvP content, but Tever AI will always target the highest attack first, and in rival runes you're gonna actually see who will be the highest attack, because we cannot tune the rival runes. So the highest attack, we already know who is it. So we just need to check out the rival runes of the enemy's Esper to check out who will be the highest attack. But he isn't like one of the most important Esper in PvP content, so I would say it's good to have, but not really necessary. Then for Shenpin is on Windwalker and Astro set, so Shenpin will be very fast, and he will be a must for a Cliff team if you're trying to beat in PvP content. So I would say Shenpin is Get It if you also want to compete in PvP content, or maybe good, somewhere here, right? Somewhere between get it and good, but isn't that high priority because it won't be that strong in PvP content. Okay, Raven. Raven is actually very strong in PvP content, especially beat out and knockout, but because they gave Raven a win set and its attack bonus and attack bonus, which means Raven's crit damage will not be that high. It will just be decently high, even though her crit will be 100% in the end. So I would say Raven will be good to have for the PvP content, but not really the meta for it. So Jiang Jiuli. Jiang Jiuli is running on Astro set, not on Windwalker set, and he is running 2 attack bonus set and Avatar set. So Jiang Jiuli R0 is already good, and then he cannot get countered by the CD up, and then because in his demon mode he's kinda like the undead now, so I would say he will be the one of the get it for your PvP content as well. Then for Tolan, I would say directly go to the get it because of his kit, and he's on win set plus immunity set. Immunity rival set, rival runes is very rare in our current espers that is fixed on rival rune. You can mostly see his HP set, Avatar set. There's very few of them actually having the immunity set. And immunity set on Tolan, and he's being one of the fastest or the only fastest esper in the game, makes his priority very high. So I would say I would judge Tolan priority higher than Anna. As long as you know how to counter Anna. Actually, Anna is easy to counter. I'll post the Anna counter video in a few days, so no worries. So personally, I would say Tolan is better than Anna, but depends on you, right? So Tolan will be on Windwalker set, on an immunity set. So Tolan is one of the esper that's only have the immunity set in the PvP rival runes content. So Tolan is definitely worth the priority for PvP content. Then the next one is Cecilia, and Cecilia here we are judging on R0 and not R2. So with R0, Cecilia isn't that strong, but Cecilia is on win set and on HP set. So Cecilia is good to have for the PvP content, but not really necessary to go for. Then for the last one, Anna, and Anna will straight away go into the priority for PvP content. She have Windwalker set, attack bonus, and Brawler set. And Brawler set is very epic for Anna because Anna counter attack with her S1, and S1 considered as a basic ability, final damage increase, and it also further increased 10% by continuously casting the counter attack of S1. So definitely very good set for Anna. And Anna, if you don't really know how to counter Anna, Anna will be immortal. But if you know how to counter Anna, Anna isn't that scary. Alright, but it also depends, in the end, it also depends on the team comp as well. Like, who is the partner with Anna? Is it like tank team? Is it like a lot of clans? Is it a lot of healing? It also matters. So, in terms of priority, I would say Nusi, JJ, Tolan, Anna is on the same tier. But there will be a higher tier, I would say, like higher priority tier. If within the get it, I have to make a higher priority, I'll put Tolan and Anna on the highest priority. It's like, if everyone is R0, Tolan and Anna will be the highest choice. Then if you already have Tolan and Anna, maybe you can consider about Nusi or JJ. Then after that is Taver, Champion, Raven, and Cecilia. Then the last one will be Unas for PvP content such as beat out and knockout. This is all my personal point of view after looking at the rival runes. Feel free to correct me if you don't agree. Feel free to comment down to share your thoughts as well. So other player who looking for another opinion, they can also check out the comment section, like how are other player, they agree with the tier list or not. Feel free to comment down. So this is my tier list for the PvP priority content, and now we're gonna go through the PvE one. So the PvE one, I won't be going through the rival runes because PvE I'll be going through is Infinity Tower, the story stages such as the Hell Mode campaign, such as Falsetto Fantasy, Sentinel Hunt. All this kind of content I'll consider it at the PvE tier list. So the first I'm going to go through is Anna. So Anna, yes, she'll be very strong in PvE, especially in early game, but when late game, she is still kind of like the cheat code for PvE. I would say is get it, but she won't be able to compete in Falsetto Fantasy for like Chimera Anomaly, all this content that's score-based content, Anna won't be your priority for PvE content. So even though she'll be a cheat code for certain situation like in Infinity Tower or maybe story mode if you are still a new player or a mid-game player, Anna will be your cheat code. But in terms of late game, Anna will be no longer a cheat code for you, so I would say get it, but it's not the highest priority in PvE content. Then for Tolan for PvE content, I would say it's decent because you don't really need Tolan in PvE content. You don't really need to outspeed them. You don't really need to 0 hour them because like the boss, they won't get affected by Tolan's time 0. So I would say Tolan will be decent in PvE content. Then for Jiang Jiuli, I would say for PvE content, it comes to a very niche position because it could be good because of the damage sharing part, and then the demon mode, the attack wise is good to have. But in PvE, Jiang Jiuli won't really shine in a lot of content because you won't really see Jiang Jiuli in like Falsetto Fantasy, Sentinel Hunt, all these things. You won't really see Jiang Jiuli. You won't be really using Jiang Jiuli as an option for Infinity Tower climbing as well. Maybe in campaign, Jiang Jiuli will carry you a lot as well if you have Jiang Jiuli, but it won't make a very big difference. So I would say in PvE content, Jiang Jiuli is considered as a good tier. Then for Nusi, I would definitely say Nusi is the highest priority for PvE because of the CD extension in Nusi, the CD reset, the AP boost, the buff she's able to provide. She's a cheat code, a total cheat code for Infinity Tower, for story mode campaign, for all those tower climbing stuff. Nusi is definitely a cheat code because you have to manual your PvE content, right? I mean for the Infinity Tower, then her reset is very useful. Her CD extend really helps for your Infinity Tower climb. So if you don't have Nusi yet, and then your Infinity Tower you have face issue usually, then Nusi will be your best choice to go for. Alright, then for Cecilia, I would say in PvE, Cecilia will be decent because Cecilia, you don't really need Cecilia's revive or the healing in PvE content. There's other Esper can do her job, like Abigail can replace her for the revive part. For the healing part, Clara can replace her, for example, all this thing. So Cecilia is not really necessary in PvE content, and you won't really see her in like all those scoring based content for bossing content as well, the tower content as well. You won't be really seeing Cecilia at all. So I would say Cecilia is decent for PvE content. Unas here will be looking at R0. We won't be looking at R2. So Unas only able to provide AP push and giving one turn immunity and certain defense break. It's not really impressive because there's other Espers able to do Unas' job as well. So in PvE content, I would say Unas is decent to have. Then for Shimmer, Raven, in PvE content, I would say good to have because Raven's kit is able to help you cleave away very fast. For example, Raven performance in story mode, Raven's performance in Temporal Tower, all this stuff. Raven's passive comes in very handy because of the HP reduction cap. The damage from Raven is able to help you out, but it won't really comes in a very major change. Like having Raven or not in PvE content really don't help you have a major change. So I would say it's a good tier. So for Champion, as most of you guys already know, Champion will be the best or the meta in PvE content because of the buffs she's able to provide, the 100% pursuit chance she's able to provide. R0 is already very strong for Champion, and she's definitely your meta Esper for buffing your Esper in Infinity Tower. If you are lack of damage, Champion can definitely buff your Esper and one-shotting them. Champion is very strong in story mode as well, for her buffs, for her debuff, for her AP push. And then Champion is also the meta Esper for Falsetto Fantasy, for Sentinel Hunt, all these scoring based content for PvE. Champion is definitely the meta. So if you are looking for a pure PvE content, Champion will be your best choice. Then for Taver, I would say get it tier because Taver is a lot used in like Andras, in like Infinity Tower, and Taver will be a niche choice, and Taver is mainly used for Sentinel Hunt as well, Falsetto Fantasy as well, and for story-based content is also very strong. For shadow bosses, Taver is also very strong, but isn't that high priority, I would say. Or on second thought, if I have to consider the Anna tier and Teva usage for PvE content, I would say Teva will be a higher tier in PvE content. But I would say Champion and Nusi definitely got a highest priority than Teva, but Teva's priority will not be lower as low as Anna in PvE content. So yeah, so Teva will be between the highest priority and get it, but it is still very high priority because the fact that Teva is able to cover so many PvE content like the hard mode of Desolate Land, Andras, Falsetto Fantasy. Teva also have his own position. Story mode also has his own position as long as you know how to use his S3 to clear the mobs as well. So Teva is definitely worth for the PvE content as well. Then the next tier list we'll be going through is the overall content, which means if you pick this Esper, she's able to help you in your PvP and PvE situation. For this final tier list here will be priority. So let's say if I get this certain Shimmer, how good is he or she is gonna perform for my whole game performance, including PvE, including PvE overall situation. Who will be the best choice for me? Cause like for me personally, I play PvE more, but I also play PvP. Just that I'm not really good at PvP, but I play both content. So for me, my consideration will not be just for a specific content. It will be not be PvP or PvE only. I want to look for the Esper that's able to cover both sides. Then this will be the part of the tier list you'll be looking for. Then first thing, Teva, I'll say the highest priority. In PvP, Teva will have his own position, and PvE, Teva also have his own unique position. So I would say Teva is the highest priority to go for. Then for Nusi, if you already watched through the PvE and PvP tier list one, you notice Nusi is always at the highest priority because of her unique Dispel, CD extension, CD reset, AP push kit, AP down kit, defense break. So Nusi is definitely worth for the highest priority. So Champion as well. Champion also is able to use in PvP and PvE because of her unique kit. Just that Champion will not be using on all those tank team. Champion is more sided to the Cliff team in PvP, and PvE she's already the meta. Then for Anna, I would say it's also the highest priority for you to pick for both content, because in PvE she's not that low tier, and PvP she's like one of the highest tier. And if you're considering for both content, PvE and PvP, I would say it's the highest priority for you to pick for Anna. Then for Raven, I would say it is get it tier, because Raven really helps you in PvE content and PvP content, but she both in terms of both situation, I would say is normal. It's not like really high priority to get Raven, so I would say get it tier. Then for JJ, I would say it's a good tier to have because JJ excels more in PvP, and in PvE the usage is very low. So if you combine both of the situation on JJ, I would say JJ is a good to have tier, but not really necessary to go for if you're looking for both of the content as well. Then for Unas, I'll straight away go for decent, because Unas currently for his kit, it don't really excel in PvE and PvP content when she's in R0, so definitely just a decent. Then for Shimmer, Cecilia, I would say decent, because Cecilia is very strong in PvP, but in terms of PvE, she don't really shine that much. So if you are looking for usage for both content, I would say Cecilia is a decent choice, but it won't be a really high priority choice for you to actually go for. Then for Tolan, I would say it's a good choice to have because of how strong he is in PvP, but in terms of PvE, he don't really shine that much, right? So I would say it's a good to have tier, or maybe even just a decent tier to go for if you are looking for overall content. So I hope the tier list or this priority list is able to give you an idea or give you the decision for the final decision for you to pick your Shimmer Esper in the Shimmer Selector event. So feel free to give out your comments or your feedback. Feel free to comment down so other players is able to take a look at others players' opinion as well. You can correct me because this is all just based on my own experience for using them at R0. Keep note, this is just a R0 tier list and is differentiated as PVE, PvP and both content situation. Feel free to correct me, so hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope the tier list brings correct information and give you guys an idea about who to pick, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.